Unless you've been living in a cave lately, you will have noticed that atheists have started to become more vocal. They're starting to express themselves publicly, and they're starting to demand that their lack of belief be treated with the same level of courtesy that other people's cherished beliefs are. Funnily enough, this has been attracting a very peculiar type of criticism. And the criticism is always, or always seems to be, directed at the atheist who becomes vocal. And it goes something like this. It goes along the lines of, why can't we live and let live? Why can't we allow these people to believe what they want to believe? And we atheists have become so used to this that we have gotten into the habit of defending ourselves after these accusations. Which is very peculiar, because in the end, the atheists are not the ones who are on the attack here. Let me explain what I mean. Let's just look at history and how history has been treating atheism over the centuries. Let's, for example, look at Galileo. Now, what was Galileo doing? Was Galileo involved in an organized attack on the Catholic Church? No, he wasn't. What Galileo was doing was just out of his innate curiosity and his desire to know how the world works, he was investigating the universe, and he was simply reporting what he had found. And he was simply reporting the conclusions he was drawing from what he had found. Who went on the attack? The Catholic Church did, when they forced him to recant his ideas about the heliocentric universe. Let's look at Darwin and his theory of evolution. Again, all that Darwin was interested in was finding a coherent explanation of the variety of life that he found around him. And he proposed a theory that is so strong that 150 years after it has been proposed, it is still the bedrock upon which all evolutionary theory of today is based. Did he go about attacking the church? No. Again, he just wanted to find out how things work and how things came to be the way they are today. And he just reported his conclusions. Again, it was the church that did not agree with his conclusions and went on the offensive. All we have been doing all this time is defend ourselves. Well, this is going to stop. Because people, science has been around for hundreds of years now. Formal science, the way we know it to be done today, according to the so-called scientific method, has been around for at least 3 centuries. And it has been enormously successful. But what we've started noticing lately is an increasing anti-scientific sentiment fueled by religious beliefs. And this is not just a few cranks attacking science. This is something a lot more insidious. This is something that goes very deep, and you can see this if you just open your eyes and open your ears and look and listen. There's anti-scientific sentiment all around us. It is prevalent, it is ubiquitous. You can see it everywhere. Just watch the television and watch, for example, stories, movies, and you will notice how there's very often this undercurrent saying that those who believe are the nice ones, those who doubt, those who would question things, are the ones to be shunned. Listen for it and start noticing it. It is so prevalent, in fact, that when I watched a movie with my daughter the other day, a cartoon called Curious George, I suddenly noticed how much that movie was actually a celebration of science. And how different that was from the usual garbage that our kids are being force-fed with. And this is no longer acceptable. We have got science to thank for an awful, awful lot. Our whole lives depend on the achievements of science. And we are not taking a tax by the lunatic fringe of religion on science anymore. Religion has no bearing on explaining how the world came to be or explaining how the world works. And if you start intruding on our turf, then you have to start playing by our rules. If you can't do that, you have no business pretending to be scientific. That is the reason why we will forcefully reject ID, creationism, and other such lunacy from the scientific establishment. It has no business being there. This is not an attack on creationism. This is not an attack on religion. This is a defense. But it is becoming more and more obvious that people like creationists, that the anti-scientific stream of religion wants this fight. And here is our promise. If you want this fight, you can have it.